Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be doing my thoughts and discussing the November 2015 ban list. Now, I wanted to do a live reaction video of this, but a whole bunch of my friends yesterday decided to text me and say the ban list is out, the ban list is out, and pretty much they start texting me saying, well, such and such has been limited and listed and banned, and I was like, oh, what the heck, just look it up. And my initial reaction was one of utter freaking disbelief, anger. Literally, I was cussing and honestly did not feel like making a video. I tried to make a video and it pretty much turned into a not pretty. And I didn't want to upload that. I wanted to take some time and choose my words more wisely and think about it. And I'm not saying I wasn't mad or anything, I just felt very indifferent to the list and what it stood for. Granted, yes, I understand it pushed out the old meta and it's getting ready for the new meta, but the way they blatantly did it, which I'll discuss later on, just made me very sick to my stomach. And this list is one of those lists that's going to take a while to digest, so to speak. It's going to take a while to just be able to cope and deal with it. But as I started thinking about it, I was like, eh. And then I thought about future product that's coming out, and I was like, eh. Okay. I think I can deal with this. But it just killed some casual fun decks of mine that just made me kind of sad. So without further ado, let's get to the list. I apologize for taking up you guys' time. So a port, I just call them paper clips because I can never pronounce Quirpults. Quirpult Tower is now banned. The reason for this banning is, I've heard different reasons from different people and talking to different people and texting different people, but from what I can figure out and what I can think is, it's kind of like the Daijin lock. And the fact that you have to main outs to get around the Daijin lock, and the same thing for our Pocket Towers, we were all playing Diamond Crab Kings just to get around the towers. And on top of that, in Europe, they don't even have Diamond Crab King because it's a manga promo. So I think all those things combined led to Pocket Towers getting banned, but I didn't find it a big deal. Sharit Strategist of the Necros getting banned. I'm indifferent to Necros. I think they have beautiful artwork, but besides that, I've never liked playing against them online or in real life when I played against them at college or with friends or wherever I go to at locals. I just find them annoying, and seeing strategists getting hit and banned really makes me feel like and knowing what else they got hit, they're dead. They are dead. They cannot be played as a viable competitive deck whatsoever. But it's going to be interesting to see what, how they're going to progress as a deck at all. Kind of like what happened in Infinities and how they progressed as a deck. El Shaddai Construct getting banned, and this is where I started to go like this yesterday and just not saying anything. I play Shaddolls, and I've been playing them for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, excuse me. A little bit before the Mega Tens came out. Online, I've been playing them for about a year, and I even recently started playing Construct as a one-of. And knowing that Shaddai Fusion got hit, and indirectly Mathematician made it get hit, kind of makes me feel like, to some degree, this was unnecessary. I feel that it was more pushing product for the future product, just to completely annihilate any relevant deck that has been relevant in the last year. I felt like what this ban list was, any relevant deck from the last year needs to get hit. And I felt that's what the Konami did, just to push product. And that's where it gets me fucking pissed, excuse my French. But I think Construct could have been left as a one-of. I think it could come back off the ban list in a year, maybe after a power creep or whatever happens. Just like what they did with Gear and Spellbook of Fate. Give it a year or so, Construct may be back. Shaddai Fusion may go to 2, Construct may go to 1. I think in the future, maybe a year or 2 from now. Evil Swarm Exciton Knight got banned, and when I first saw this, I said, this list is fake. This kid, no, they wouldn't ban. Why would they ban Exciton Knight? And then I started thinking, well, I mean, some people have said, well, because, it promotes, playing badly. No, It helps promote if you're put in a bad situation, I guess you could say. I mean, we have Black Rose, we have JD, we have Regeki, we have Dark Hole. What's the difference between Evil Swarm Exciton Knight and those cards, really? The difference is Evil Sworn Exciton Knight helps blow up the pendulum zones. And if you get the pendulums, if your opponent has the pendulums out, that's 2 more card advantages they have. If you get where I'm going with this, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight helps combat pendulums for the future. And Konami is trying to push pendulums. Thus, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight gets banned. That's what I feel like. And I think it's unwarranted. I mean, I own Exciton Knight. I got it for about 20 bucks when the Mega 10s came out in the reprint. I've had it for a year. It's put in good work. But it's been a rank 4 staple, but do I always go into it? No. Do I always use it? No. So I don't think it's warranted a banning. I think it's kind of like the Trish scenario years ago. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Corporal Scott got limited. I just felt this was more of a thing where you've killed towers. Are you so scared of Skybase you just hit the... What? You want to play Climate Change now, Quilpults? No, the deck's dead. What are you supposed to do with it? I mean, it's not cohesive. Graph, Mermail Branch of the Burning Abyss. I can never pronounce those Burning Abyss names sometimes. I apologize. As well as Cleese. But this was something, okay, I could see going to 1. I was expecting it to go to 1. I knew Burning Abyss wasn't going to go unscathed throughout the list. And I've been playing the deck ever since the Mega 10s came out. And I love the deck. I really had fun playing with it. It's a good deck. And knowing that this got hit, and knowing, I think it was, I forget what the other one was, I think it was, got semi-limited. The deck's going to be hindered, but it's still going to be good. I mean, a deck that floats is still going to be a good deck to some degree, and you still have your Fire Lakes, you still have everything. I mean, the deck is going to get hit, but you can add in some of your other Burning Abyss X cards maybe for some help, and I think you'd be okay, but I'm going to have to play test that more. Mathematician got hit is where this and Rhoda, when Mathematician got limited and Rhoda got limited, this is where I literally, that's when I got pissed. I understand Mathematician was used in a whole bunch of different decks. Shaddolls, Burning Abyss, okay, I get it. But that just, I mean, it's a good card. I can understand it being limited. But I'm still sitting here going, you know how many other decks you hurt by doing that? You've already killed, just by hitting Fusion and banning Construct, you've kind of killed them, the Shaddol deck. You kind of have already hit the Burning Abyss deck. Are you just trying to hit Mathematician because of the Clown engine now? Instead of hitting the Clowns, Mathematician's going to get, you know, take the fall. And I guess Konami just in general doesn't like, you know, promoting kids to learn proper math and whatnot, you know, and algebra. You know, dump a card in the grave equals plus. Attack Mathematician, you get a plus. Yeah, apparently they don't like math. So, yeah, that hurts, but I think Armageddon Knight can take care of a lot of those things. But then they hit Rhoda, so you can't search out the Armageddon Knight. And then you can't use the old thing we used to do with Summoner Monk into Armageddon Knight, make Laval by Chain. You can't do that anymore even. So it's like, Next they hit Breo and Unicorn. Unicorn I thought should have got hit on the last of this. That card's annoying, it's too good. Breo, alright. Ritual Beast Ulti-Kana Hawk. Again, why? I understand, and I play Ritual Beast in real life for fun, and I've played it online for a while. I'm still was in the process of learning the deck completely. It's a somewhat of a complicated deck to learn, and learn all the ins and outs and all the plays and get them right. Granted, I mean, it is a straightforward deck in what it does, but I wanted to make sure I was thoroughly into the knowledge of it. You kind of crippled the deck though by hitting Kana Hawk to 1. I mean, yeah, you have your steeds and your ambush, but you hit the Kana Hawk to 1. That kind of cripples the entire deck to some degree, I'll say that. And that's just sad. I feel this was more of a product push than everything. People say it's the new Infernity, but I mean, still, why? It's one of those things that you just go, why? Shaddoll Fusion, like I talked about before, you ban the construct. You also hit the fusion. I mean, if you limited the fusion and I left construct at 1, I think the deck would have been fine. But you're trying to push new product. I can see what you're doing. It's sick. That's what sickens me. Reinforcement of the army going to 1. This hurts so many decks of mine and so many decks that I know people play. It's not even funny. Heroes, 6 samurai. Even though they brought Sheehan back, whoop-de-fucking-do. Excuse my French for cussing, but really. Battling boxers. Why? Stella Knights. They got off scot-free, but you hit the Rhoda. Really? 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 That's what I'm trying to say here. Really? I think Rhoda could have stayed at 3 and we'd been fine. The reason they brought Rhoda back, I mean, Noble Knights, what are you going to do with Merlin now? I mean, what are you going to do? Battling Boxers already lost chain, Lavala chain, what are they going to do? I mean, it's not even funny. In a way, I mean, some people say Rhoda's too good, and I understand that. But you could have hit the Stella Knights, hit the deck, and even though I play Stella Knights, I'm saying this. I play the deck, I have the deck. And I'm definitely going to be playing it now, but you could have hit the Stella Knights. You could have hit Altair with a Neb. And left Rhoda at 3, and everybody would have been happy. If Rhoda had stayed at 3, even if Mathematician got hit, I would have been okay with this list. But the Rhoda and the Mathematician, along with the Construct Summarize, which even though I play Shadolls, it saddens me. I was about to profile a Shaddoll deck for you guys too, which sucks. And a whole bunch of decks, I had finally figured out when I wanted to do it, and I was going to do that next week after Halloween, and guess what? Now I gotta restart from scratch. Konami and not telling us when the ban list's coming out. I hate you. Next, they semi-limited Sir. This is gonna hurt a little bit, but it'll be okay. We'll have to see how that works out. I think Burning Abyss is still gonna be an okay deck. Chaos Sorcerer got unlimited, and the first thing it thought me was I thought Chaos Sorcerer was already unlimited actually. Apparently it wasn't. To think that BLS and Chaos Sorcerer are completely... Chaos Sorcerer is completely unbanned. BLS is at 1. The new BLS support is coming out. Where's Chaos Emperor Dragon at? Then we'll be like the old school Chaos. Old school Chaos from 2004, excuse me. Legendary 6 Samurai Sheehan came back to 3. Great. I'm happy. But you didn't bring Gateway back. I would have rather had 6 Samurai Sheehan be at 2 and you bring Gateway back to 1 and hit Rhoda to 1. I've been happy with that, but no. OCG can have 2 Rhoda. We only can have 0. Why, Konami, you do this? But then I'm going to tell you something I was thinking about afterwards. After that, Spellbook of Fate goes to 3. Cool, I know a lot of good friends that are Spellbook players. I can't wait to see what they do with Spellbook of Fate at 3. It's a good card. Gear is the only shining thing for me because I have the entire Gear deck still. And I wanted to profile sometime in November Gear Karakuris again because that's a fun deck. And now with Gear back at 3, hey, I get to profile Gear Karakuris in their full glory. So that is the ban list. Like I said, this is going to take a lot of time to digest this list. Some people may have asked me, is this as bad as the September 2013 ban list after Dragon Rulers got hit and whatnot? No. That was a lot worse. That hurt my trap lineup and so many other things. That ban list lives in infamy. This is bad, but it's not as bad by no means. I love my traps, and they didn't bring back Heavy Storm or Harpy's Feather Dust, which is okay by me. They're bringing out the new Twister card, which I don't think means that. Pretty much means that they're not going to bring those back to begin with. But some things I was thinking about 6 Samurais for my 6 Samurai players out there is, okay, Rhoda's at 1. We still got Dojo, so there may be some things we could play around with Dojo, which was my initial thoughts. But also, Solemn Scalding is coming out soon. Imagine a board. You have a board with a Sheehan on the field, or an Aturia Beast, or whatever fits your fancy, and you have a Solemn Scolding with 2 set in the back row with maybe another trap. That's a good board. Against the right deck, that is a good board. So, even though Sheen's going to be a little bit less consistent to make, we have asceticism, okay. And with Solemn Scolding coming out, not Solemn Scolding, excuse me, Solemn Notice. I do apologize for saying Solemn Scolding. I meant Solemn Notice. I do apologize for that. So with Solemn Notice, now just imagine a board with a Sheehan or an Aturia Beast, a couple of back row, maybe 2 Solemn Notice on the back row. That's a good field. So I think that's going to be good. Sadly, my Noble Knights I'm going to have to put on the shelf. My Shaddols I'm going to put on the shelf for now. Battling Boxers are literally on the shelf for now until Lavava Chain comes back, or Rhoda. There's a lot of decks I'm going to have to tuck away for a while, but the thing that gives me another silver lining is because they brought things back from the limited section right back to this to unrestricted to 3, which makes me feel like maybe some of those limited cards may come back in maybe a year or 2, and I would be happy if that's what I have to do to wait. So only time will tell. Did they bring Dragon's Ravine back to 2? No, Dragon's Ravine is still semi-limited. Okay, that's interesting. An Advanced Ritual Art is still at 2. Why? What? The trap card's not as good. There's just sometimes I'm wondering, like, why do they do some things? And the thing with this ban list that gets me mad, as I end this video now, is that I can look at this ban list, and I'm used to Konami pushing product and wanting to promote new product, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. They're a business, and as long as they bring back cards and decks that are either they've been overpowered, or they've spent their time on the forbidden or limited list, and then they make their way back to us, you know, after a time of being on there because they want to push new product, I'm okay with that. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Gear and Spellbook of Fate, I'm okay with them staying, you know, been on the list for about 2 years and then they bring it back. If I know, if somebody came from the future and told me, hey, you know, a year or 2 from now, a year and a half from now, Construct will be back at 1, and Shadow Fusion will be at 2, and Roto will be at 2, and Tour Guide will be at 2, whatever, I'd be like, oh, okay, it's all good. But not knowing what Konami's doing and looking at this list and seeing that this list is blatantly hitting every single good deck that has come out within the last year, except Stellar Knights, which people say is a balanced deck, which I've always, you know, considered playing the deck. It's like a new age gadget type of deck. But thinking that Stellar Nova Alpha is going to be at 3 and Solemn Notice is going to be at 3, kind of scary. So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the future. But this list, I just look at it and I see it's a blatant push to push new product. And that's what gets me mad. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Tell me what you think of this ban list down below. I mean, I don't like this list. There's really nothing I like about this list. But, you know, what are you going to do about it? Maybe they'll play around with some of the ratios of cards later on, because they just literally, like, you're a good deck, I hit you. You're a good deck, I hit you. I mean, maybe you Senjus would be good with anti-meta. I don't know. But then you have to keep in mind the Pendulums are coming out. Magi Specters are going to be interesting. They'll probably be good. Then you got the Draco Slayers coming out and the Monarchs. So the game's about to change, so I don't know if it was necessary to hit these decks like the way they did, because they're going to get power creep to you probably in the next month or 2. Why'd you do that? But then again, they brought Yu-Gi-Oh! Gear back. Maybe they'll do that in the future with some of these other cards, but whatever. Till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, tell me what you think of this ban list down below, and Seto Kaiba, I'm out of here, guys, till next time. Take care, everybody.